2014 will be the International Year of the Secretary. It's the first time in 30 years that we have had an International Year of the Secretary, and it couldn't have come at a better time for the profession, for making your businesses understand exactly what the role entails and exactly what it is that you do. The International Year of the Secretary is operating out of South Africa, but there are 82 associations all over the world who are taking part, who are also encouraging their members to go back to their businesses and to talk to the executives and to set up presentations to explain exactly what the role of the assistant is all about. Let's go back a little bit and just look at the evolution of the assistant and why it is that right now is such a huge opportunity for you guys to get out there and explain what it is that you do and to change the perception of the role. 40 years ago, at World War II, was the first time that women entered the role. Prior to that, it was all men. The word secretary actually means keeper of secrets. So for those of you that don't think well of yourselves or consider yourselves to be just an assistant, in fact, some of the biggest jobs in the world are people who are secretaries. The Secretary of State, for example, one of the most revered positions in the world, is a secretary. The qualification that is one of the most important in the world, the Masters of Business Administration. So don't think for yourself that it's a small role. A fifth of the world's working population works in administration. That's a huge, huge sector of the workplace to be misunderstood. So why is now a time where we could really be changing the perception of who the assistant is? Well, that's because of the recession, really. It has changed things immeasurably, and it has changed the role. Because 5 years ago, when Lehman's went bang, what happened was that the majority of the middle management layer got laid off. But then there was still work to be done. So who was given it? You. Now, this was fine. And what we tend to find is that you were taking on these tasks and not actually saying you didn't know how to do them. We have a LinkedIn group with 14,500 members on it. And you guys were coming to that LinkedIn group and asking each other how to do these things. I find that really scary, especially when it comes to tasks like HR or marketing or finance. If you don't know how to do these things, specifically with HR, you could be costing your business millions and millions of dollars. So what I would say to you is, we're 5 years in now. I understand totally that 5 years ago, when you were given new roles, you took them on because you were worried that you might be the next one to be made redundant if you didn't. You also took them on for no more money, usually because you didn't want to make a fuss. You wanted to just get on with it. But you know what? We're 5 years in. And if you don't now start explaining how the role has changed, it is always going to be this way. You've taken on middle management roles where they were probably paid a great deal more than you, and you are now doing that stuff without training and without more money. And if they can't afford to give you more money, the least they can afford to do is to give you more training. So, the assistants that come to me regularly and say to me, I'm not an assistant really anymore. What I do is project management, but then I do some of my admin stuff as well. Or I'm not really an admin anymore. I do far more HR, but actually I do a bit of my admin as well. That is the way the role is moving. The administrator is becoming a specialist in a particular area, maybe marketing or social media or HR or finance, whatever it is that they feel most comfortable with, and then running the administrative role next to it. So what I would urge you to do is to invest in this year of the Secretary, invest in your own personal development, and take this opportunity to share with your company and with your networks exactly what it is that I've been saying to you about your own personal development and exactly where the role is headed. You could actually change the perception of the assistant in the rest of the world forever.